Hi guys, welcome back to Euro Truck Simulator 2, where we've just dropped off our last load in Stavanger, and it is now raining, as you can see. And we're just going to have a look for our next load. So let me just have a look at the world map, because it seems to have some navigation on there, so I'm just going to take that off. Right, let's just have a look at the job market. Okay, Stavanger is where we are. Okay. BY, Belarus? Is that Belarus? No. Yes, Belarus. It's down in Belarus, down here. There's a ferry crossing along the way. So it looks like you've got to go into Sweden, get a ferry. Yeah, that looks okay. Let's give that a go. 45,000 as well. Wow. And it's at this depot, I believe. So I think if we head up here, we should be here to take the job, theoretically. That's what I think. So let's have a look. Yep, there we go. So we'll take that job. And now we just need to find out where the trailer is. Looks like it's down here somewhere. So I think this is the way we went in before, so we'll go back in this way and see if we can come down and find the trailer down there. I imagine this is pretty much where we've got to go. This is where we came round and dropped off the last one, so I'm hoping this is also where the next one is. I can't see it there. Let's try. Looks like it's to our left somewhere. Ah, there it is. That's the one we want. Excellent. Okay, so let's just try turning into this area here. A bit up from here. We can reverse back to the trailer, I think. May have to pull forward and straighten up a bit, I think. We can certainly do that. It's quite a tight area to reverse in there. Let's move forward a touch. Fine, that should do it. A bit further. There we go. Guess we'll attach the trailer. Now I think we've got to go out this way. Which way did we go out before? That's the question. I thought around there, but possibly not. Go out this way. You can get out this way. If we go round to the left here, bit like that. I think this is the way we went out before. Let's back round here. Looks about right. Through there? Yeah. Just have a look from overhead. Ah, looks like that Looks like we're clipping that fence, so let's try. Looks better. That's fine. We'll head out this way. Pretty sure this is the way out. Down this quite narrow exit road, and entry road actually, it's the way we came in on, I think. The weather's turned decidedly less pleasant in Norway. The rain had to come at some point. Shouldn't cause us any difficulties getting on the way, I don't think. Just not quite so much use of the lovely scenery when it's tipping it down like this. It's less than pleasant, let's put it that way. But theoretically, we can head straight out of here and pick up the road to our destination, I hope. I'm not quite sure why the sat-nav is pointing back where we've come, because surely that's just going into that. Ah, that looks a bit better. Seems to have sorted itself out now. So this looks like the route we want. Which I certainly think it should be. Sort of glad there's nothing coming the other way down here, because obviously one of you would have to give way, and that would involve being on the grass effectively, and if it's wet, could be a bit of an issue, so really want to be happy to stick wheels onto wet grass if I can avoid it. Okay. So, according to the map, we're heading off towards Sweden. We'll get a ferry from Sweden to then head down towards Belarus. Let's just take a look that way. Nothing coming, nothing coming. Okay. Visibility is quite a lot lower now this rain has started, you have to say. In terms of fuel, we've got about 3/4 of a tank, so we don't need to worry too much about fuel at the moment. In terms of time, we've got 7.5 hours before we need to rest. That's quite good. We've got green light there by the look of it. Hopefully this rain will clear up at some point. We're going to have to rest somewhere, and we've also got a ferry crossing coming, so hopefully one or the other of those the rain will stop and we'll get a bit better weather for the journey into Belarus. At the moment, it's the best we can do. Okay. Bus going the other way. As you can probably see, I'm not pushing close to the 50-mile-an-hour limit at all, A, because of the bends, and B, because of the rain. As we all should on the roads, drive to the conditions, although that doesn't seem to always follow, but that's what people should do. In these sorts of conditions, you'd have to think that it would take you longer to stop, so therefore you should allow more room to the vehicle in front, and you probably shouldn't be going as fast as you might do if it was lovely and dry. So I'm not pushing my speed too much, trying to make sure it's comfortable even given the weather, and avoiding any problems. And that said, that bend was a bit iffy. Right, okay, we got round there, that's fine. So another bus. So we're heading out now, and hopefully we can get on the road to our destination reasonably easily. It's a 41-hour journey, it says, 1,300 miles, so this is a long journey, so we're probably going to have to do this in 3 parts, I would think. We'll see. I'm not sure how close we'll get to the ferry in this first part. We had 7.5 hours driving time. I'm not sure that's going to be enough to get across Norway and Sweden. We'll see how we go. I like the way the visibility is simulated in the rain, I must say. I'll put the wipers on continuous now. It seems to be getting a bit worse. The lighting effects in Euro Truck generally have got much better. There was an update not too long ago when they said that they'd massively overhauled the lighting effects, and I think they are really quite good. I'll be hoping this weather might improve. Not much sign of it at the moment. There's a lot of cloud and I haven't really seen any blue skies yet. I don't hold out a lot of hope for it. Looks like being a wet day from what I can see of things. This weather could be set in for a while. But we'll see. As I say, we're going to have a rest period, we're going to have a ferry crossing, so somewhere along the way we might get into some better weather. Sort of a bit of a dreary, typical dreary English autumn day, I suppose, really, in some ways. It's the sort of weather we experience in the UK quite a lot. I mean, I wouldn't say it's wintry. It doesn't look that cold. Like there's no frost or snow or anything like that around. But I suppose a dreary autumn day could be a reasonable description for it. Anyway, we will continue on down here. Some of these roads are quite narrow. Carefully, not something coming the other way as there is now. Well, that was only a car, but if you had a fairly large lorry, especially if you had a wide load coming the other way, these roads are quite narrow. Oh, the rain seems to be stopping. Aha! Excellent. Sun coming out, I believe. Good lord. Well, there you are. That shows you how quickly the rain can change. Or the weather can change, rather. Rain has stopped, sun has come out, and it's improving every minute now. And I am seeing blue sky, so lovely. That's good news. Means we'll be able to admire more of the scenery. Visibility will improve. There'll be pleasant sunshine most of the way, possibly, which is much better than I expected, I have to say. I didn't think we were going to be in that at all. I thought it looked like that rain was here for a while. Shows you can never tell with weather. And you have to remember, of course, time goes by quicker in Euro Truck than in reality, so therefore I suppose weather will last for a shorter period, if you like. Anyway, let's go on down to this junction. How's it looking that way? I can't see anything coming that way, so I think we're okay to pull out. There's still a bit of dark cloud around, but there's a lot of blue sky now, so that doesn't mean we won't come into more rain in a minute, because as we just said, it can change rather quickly. due to the way Euro Truck's time works, but hopefully we can get, once we're out of these windy roads, very narrow windy roads, we can hopefully get going a bit more. Coming up on a fuel station, we don't need that at the moment. We don't need rest at the moment. Enable the cruise control now in a 43 limit, or we were. So now back into a 50, so let's try and see if we can get the cruise control enabled at somewhere near 50 mile an hour. I can see all the hills and trees again now, so much nicer. Nice to be able to see those views, not shrouded in the mist that was there when the rain was coming down. Beautiful scenery, very nice area. I'm quite impressed with this Scandinavia DLC, I must say, it's really nice. As far as I know, this is from the Scandinavia DLC rather than from Promods. Well, Promods may have added something to it. It's very possible, but whichever, it looks pretty cool, I think. Got some windy old roads through here. Hopefully once we get sort of heading into the area where we're heading out Norway towards Sweden, then I'd imagine we'll get on some more major roads, like motorways or whatever, at some point. Oh, hello, fellow trucker. Who's towing a boat? The boat as cargo. I haven't had anything like that. They seem a bit more unusual, to be honest, but you might come across it at some point, you never know. But maybe from an oversized load, so you might need an oversized load mod to get that, I don't know. Or it's extremely high value, it's possible. If you max out high value, you might start picking up things like that. Another bridge. Very pretty scenery. It's a very attractive area, I must say. I'm not sure I've actually driven this particular area in Euro Truck before, and I must say this looks very nice. I'm quite enjoying this drive. It's quite relaxing and quite interesting to look around as you head down here, to be honest. We are heading down, certainly. We do seem to be coming very much down off a hill somewhere. The road seems to be going downhill most of the time. 4 hours still before we need to rest. That job info page is so handy. I'm really glad I set a button that takes me to that, because it's so handy for checking how long you've got, so you can sort of plan your rest stops accordingly. Realistically, I don't think we'll get across Sweden to the ferry before that 4 hours runs out, so we're going to have to rest before somewhere. Then hopefully after the ferry crossing we won't have to rest the other side. Hopefully. Though I wouldn't say that's guaranteed. 11 hours may well be enough from where we get off the ferry to get down into Belarus. Not an area I'm familiar with, so I wouldn't know sort of how long that journey is, but we've still got 1,178 miles to go at the moment. It's a fairly long ways, it's a fairly long job, so he's paying 45,000 or something, isn't it? So it's going to be a long way. Very lucrative, and nearly double our cash in the bank again, so we're on 48 at the moment. So I'd guess that we could be going uphill now, on the basis that we don't seem to be able to gain any speed, so I assume that we're heading uphill. But yeah, we'll see how this journey goes, but hopefully rest this side somewhere, get the ferry across, not have to rest the other side would be nice. Best laid plans and all that, you never know. But we are struggling to get up this hill. It does make you wonder how the first truck would have coped with this, because we've got extra horsepower now, 60 extra horsepower that we didn't have before. How heavy is our cargo? I don't think it was particularly heavy, was it? 25 tons. Not the lightest one, certainly. Trying to tug 25 tons up here is a bit hard work even for this truck. But we're getting there now. It's better, onto a downhill stretch. Now of course you get the opposite problem with all that weight behind you to pick up speed very quickly, so you have to be a bit careful of the speed limits and so on, especially with those interactive police cars about. If they do come out of nowhere. If we avoid speeding, we avoid any issues, so we should be okay. So down this hill, try and keep the speed regulated a bit. Beautiful area. I mean, this scenery going down here is just unbelievable. It's lovely. Really nice. And I'll go on about it, but it is lovely. You know, we are going faster. Picked up quite a lot of speed coming down there, so just keep feathering the brake to keep our speed regulated. Down these bends still. I'm hoping that we'll get to a motorway before too long. And things will be a bit flatter, a bit wider. Generally a bit more comfortable really for driving, but another fuel station coming up. How are we doing now? Still got nearly 3 hours, so don't need to stop yet. I'm hoping there'll be more fuel stations before too far, so that we'll get the opportunity to stop there rather than at this one. Down between the rocks, almost like sort of through a canyon, isn't it? Sort of how you might describe it, I suppose. Very pretty, very nice. Scandinavia DLC, and possibly some influence from Promods. Still quite a few bends on this road, so we're not coming to any sort of more major road yet. Not that it's a great problem, it's just sometimes a bit easier being on the major roads, but then in reality, of course, if you drive on a motorway for long, it can be a bit boring, to be frankly honest, and Obviously not using your left foot on the clutch because you're not able to change gear for ages. Stick the car in cruise control and just sit there really, so it's not the most exciting thing in the world, motorway driving. Can seem more tiring as well, I think, sometimes. Okay, so we're going right here to give way rather than the traffic light, so looks like we're heading towards Oslo. So I guess 2 hours 11 minutes. We're going to have to think about resting fairly soon. How long is on the job? Well, we've got 77 hours to deliver the cargo, and it's supposed to take 37, so there's plenty of leeway in the timing by when they want this job delivered, so that's good. Certainly shouldn't be any issues there. What a strange road junction coming up. It's like you have to go round in a circle. Some roller coasters that look like that. That's quite strange. Okay. Get out of this tunnel first. Okay, so we have to go right here. For things. So we're heading down here. And then it apparently does some circular affair. Still going round. Dizzy on this junction. Hey, there we go. We're round now, that's fine. And this does look a bit more like a bit more of a main road. But now we've just got to hope there are some services down here somewhere. Usually find it if you're on the more major roads. It's time to yawn. On the more major roads you tend to have more services. You know, you're not relying on finding some little fuel station in the middle of nowhere sort of thing. You're looking for big motorway services or something like that. But then if we are going across Norway and into Sweden, we should be coming to the border as well. So maybe the border will be a possibility as a rest area. Not really sure how far from the Swedish border we will be at the moment, but we're going to need a rest area of some description before too long. This looks like a narrow one. That's not the widest slip road in the world, is that really? The left turn at the top. And straight on to the next roundabout by the look of things. Like another roundabout we're coming up to, I think. Gothenburg. That way. So if that's saying we're heading towards Gothenburg, then surely we're heading towards the border. Hopefully the border is not too far away. I don't think we've crossed into Sweden yet, have we? Don't remember seeing anything that suggested we did. Possibly might have done. I don't know, we'll see. Definitely saying Gothenburg is this way. Gothenburg's second largest city in Sweden, I think, after Stockholm, possibly. Malmö's quite big as well. Another tunnel. Quite a long tunnel too. And that looks a bit like a toll coming up. I was hoping we might be able to rest, because sometimes at the toll booths there's rest areas, but this one it doesn't look like there is. There's no rest areas showing on the map. No, I think it's one of those very small tolls. It's a shame. And £12. Thank you. Bye bye. On we go. Is that car gonna let us go? Yeah, I think he is. Yep, thank you. I'll try and stay over to this lane, and if he wants to go by, he can. Starting to get concerned that there's no sign of any services now. When you don't want them, they're there. When you need them, they're not there. Every time. I think we could be in Sweden because the board there is blue and yellow. It's generally indication in Sweden, but that sign says Oslo that way and Gothenburg this way, so we could be right near the border. That could be what's happening. If we were coming up on the border shortly, that would be good news, because hopefully there would be rest areas there. I don't see anything else that's going to help us out at the moment. The only thing we can do is keep going. Hope we don't get fined for avoiding sleep, but if we do, so be it, 'cause there's not a vast amount we can really do about it, I don't think, at the moment. Try not to take any wrong turns, that's a sure fact. Again, there's no sign of anything here except a large road junction. No city we can cut off into and rest quickly or anything like that. Stockholm is this way. We got away with it by the skin of our teeth before, when a petrol station appeared just before I would have started to get fined. This time, I don't think we're going to be so lucky. I didn't feel like I was pushing my luck so far this time. I honestly thought that we had plenty of time when I passed the last services, but clearly not. Oh dear, guys. Should have checked the world map and seen whether there was any other rest areas, really, shouldn't I? That's what I should have done. Technically you could do now, but it's not really going to serve much of a purpose now. The damage is sort of done. I'm rather committed to this and got to find a rest place down here somewhere. I'm not getting anywhere to turn off where we could go into a city or something and rest quickly. So there's really no... Ah! Rest spot coming up. Fuel station. Excellent. We may have got away with it again. Just got away with it, or we might get a fine just as we arrive there. Which side of the road is it, I wonder? Looks like there's a rest spot this side of the road. Fuel station's that side of the road, but then it looks like there's actually a rest spot on this side. Oh, maybe there's services both sides or something? Ah, it's the border, I think. Ah, there's a fuel station there. This is the border. It looks like you can rest here. Looks like you must be able to rest in here somewhere. It's a hotel. Okay, that's fine. So where is the rest area for me, I wonder? I think over there, so I'm probably going to have to go the wrong way around this bit, but not to worry. Sorry and all that, people. Nothing coming out of the way, so we'll be fine. With a bit of luck in here we do. Technically facing the wrong way, I think, but that'll do. What I'm going to do is just make the turn around so that I'm facing the right way. That's a border hotel basically. It's handy. Okay, so let's stop there, turn the engine off. Just going to have a quick look at the local map, see where we are and see where we're going next time. So well, I guess we're about halfway to that ferry from where we started. Looks like about halfway, would you say? So probably about another 7 hours to go. And once we get there, we cross to Ventspils. And then we've got to go past Riga, Latvia, I think. And this will be Belarus over here. So yeah, fair way to go. It's going to be an interesting journey, I think, but we should comfortably make the ferry on the next one, get across there, and hopefully 11 hours will be enough to get down there without having to rest again. So, enjoyed that video, guys. Hit the like button and subscribe for further updates with Euro Truck Simulator, and I will see you next time. In the meantime, happy trucking, take care, bye bye.